चंदू के चाचा की चटनी और बहुत कुछ 10 मिनट्स में और बिग बास्केट।
WHO regions, and I'm very honored that our regional directors are here, conducted with member states research priority setting exercise on what member states need to drive this agenda forward. One statistic you will hear is that of the global health research funding, only 1% of the funding is going to traditional medicine research. And this is a huge gap we have to bridge. And we also then have sessions on integration, different models, best practices from countries on integration in health systems, as well as monitoring and charting progress across sectors to make this a reality. And we have an amazing discovery experience that many of you have contributed to. And this is really an interactive, innovative zone where you get to practice, you learn, it's an immersive experience. And we are very pleased to say that it's an opportunity to learn, to experience, to connect with one another, and that this discovery experience will become a permanent exhibition at the WHO Global Traditional Medicine Center in Jamnagar. So we hope to get all of your feedback as you go through to help co-create and shape this so that it's a global resource. We also are very excited that all countries and civil society have been making commitments on what they would do to implement the global strategy. And one example here was the first commitment that was made from Senegal in terms of setting in place a national policy of investing in high-impact research, of regulation, and as well as with the civil society. And we look forward in the closing ceremony to celebrating these commitments. Ultimately, advancing traditional medicine is an evidence-based, ethical, and environmental imperative. And our combined global summit fosters the conditions and collaborations needed for traditional medicine to contribute at scale to the flourishing of all people and the planet we share. I thank you all. This is your summit. We were happy to support you from WHO. We thank the Government of India for the generous support and leadership for bringing us all together. Thank you all and look forward to meeting through the summit.
Thank you, Dr. Kuruvilla. We now invite from China the Vice Commissioner, National Administration of Traditional Chinese Medicine, Mr. Huang Luqi, to share his perspectives at this global summit. You may use your headsets at this point.
尊敬的谭德赛总干事、各位部长、女士们、先生们、朋友们，大家好。至此，第2届世界卫生组织传统医学全球峰会在新德里隆重召开之际，我谨代表中国国家中药管理局，向本次会议的召开表示热烈的祝贺。向主办方的周到安排致以衷心的感谢。传统医药是优秀传统文化的重要载体，在促进文明互鉴、维护人民健康等方面发挥着重要作用。中国政府始终高度重视，并致力于推动中医药的传承、创新与发展，坚持中西医并重，推动中医药与西医药相互补充、协调发展，建立了完善的中医药管理体系、服务体系、教育体系、科研体系。截止2024年底，全国中医类医疗机构总数已超过10万个，92%以上的2级以上综合医院设有中医临床科室，99%以上的社区卫生服务中心和乡镇卫生院，95%以上的社区卫生服务站和86%以上的村卫生室能够提供 中医药服务，全国中医药技术人员总数已突破114万人。2024年，全国中医诊疗量已经接近17亿人次，占全国总诊疗量的近20%。同时，中国通过实施国家基本公共卫生服务中医药项目，近5年来已累计为5.59亿人次的65岁以上的老年人、1.14亿人次的0到36个月儿童提供中医药健康管理服务。2024年，上述2类人群的中医药健康管理率已分别达到77%和89%。中国还持续应用成功举办。中国国家主席习近平向大会致贺信，强调加强传统医药互学互鉴，推动传统医药深入融入全球卫生体系，促进传统医药文化创造性转化、创新性发展，让传统医药更好造福各国人民。来自86个国家和地区的3500多位代表参会，充分展示了世界传统医药发展的成就，商讨了传统医药发展的重大问题，为共同推动传统医药造福各国民众健康福祉发挥了积极作用。大会发布了传统医药人才交流与能力提升项目和传统医药国际科学研究合作计划，向马来西亚、越南、印度尼西亚等30多个国家的500余人提供了中医药学历教育和中短期培训机会，投入专项经费支持与吉尔吉斯坦、哈萨克斯坦、越南等近20个国家的联合科研项目，支持开展新时代神农尝百草行动，发起成立全球传统医学联盟，以吸纳来自中国、美国、加拿大、巴西、印度、日本等16个国家的31家创始会员单位。我们欣喜地看到，世界卫生组织多次通过传统医学决议，在第11中单独设置传统医学章节，建立国际传统医学临床实验注册平台，发布2025至2034全球传统医学战略，有力促进了传统医学发展。本次峰会以重塑平衡、健康与福祉的科学实践为主题，为各国深化理念交流、加强政策对话、推动合作共识提供了重要平台。我们愿同各方不断深化传统医药交流合作，向世界人民分享中西医结合、中西药并用的中国智慧。女士们、先生们、朋友们，传统医药是人类文明创造的成果，需要代代守护、传承精华，也需要与时俱进、守正创新。各国同行一道，秉持全球发展、安全、文明、治理倡议的理念和愿景，深化学术互鉴，推动传统医药这个古老文明智慧结晶在新时代创新发展，为助力构建人类卫生健康共同体贡献更大力量。最后，预祝本次峰会取得圆满成功，谢谢大家。
Thank you very much, Mr. Lucci. We now turn to an important voice representing indigenous knowledge and global equity. I'm pleased to invite from Chile the member of the UN Permanent Forum on Indigenous Issues, Mr. Rodrigo Eduardo Pailef Monat, to offer his remarks on this occasion.
Honorable Ministers, Excellencies, dignitaries, brothers, sisters, and friends. Mari Kompuche, good afternoon to all. I speak to you today as indigenous person, a Mapuche from the south of the world, from Chile. I want to thank our host at WHO, the Government of India, and Ministry of Ayush for giving me, an indigenous person and representative of the UN Permanent Forum on Indigenous Issues, a voice in this opening ceremony. Indigenous people represent only 6% of the global population, but protect almost 80% of the remaining biodiversity of the world. For indigenous people, health is holistic relations. It is rooted in relationship with Mother Earth, with land, water, soil, with community, and with generation past, present, and future. And also in ancient science and knowledge carried through languages, practices, and lived experience. Indigenous knowledge are not a footnote in the history of the medicine and healthcare. They are a living contribution to strong national and global health system, offering relational approaches to balance, prevention, and care that complement biomedicine science. Bringing indigenous knowledge and biomedical system into dialogue and complementarity is not about replacing one with the other. It is about building bridges that expand methods and languages of knowledge, that democratize how evidence is generated, and that strengthen our capacity to provide healthcare to communities everywhere in ways that enable us to better respond to the new challenges and complexities we are facing today. This is not only a matter of justice and equity, it is also about effectiveness and resilience. Without a healthy Mother Earth, there is no medicine that can truly heal, and without indigenous custodianship, there is no continuity. When collective memory is damaged, when territories are contaminated, and biodiversity is lost, we use not only healthy forests and rivers, but also valuable knowledge, practices, and transmission. In this context, I welcome to the unique leadership of the World Health Organization and the Global Traditional Medicine Center in advancing efforts to co-create a framework for the respectful engagement of indigenous people on biodiversity, health, and traditional knowledge and medicine. This work reflects an understanding that strong and inclusive health systems are built through equity, trust, dialogue, and partnership, and by ensuring that free, prior, and informed consent consent. Dignity and care are integrated to how knowledge is shared. Through the UN Permanent Forum, diverse indigenous worldviews are brought in dialogue, helping guide the United Nations system with balance and mutual respect. If this summit helps restore balance, let it be because we choose partnership over division, complementarity over substitution, and collaboration over separation. The path forward is defined not only by destination, but by the bridges we build. Health systems are strengthened when traditional knowledge are engaged with respect, equity, and reciprocity, ensuring planetary health for peoples, territories, and future generations. Thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you so much, Mr. Monad. Ladies and gentlemen, having heard perspectives from across regions and traditions, we now turn to a shared narrative that brings these voices together. We invite you now to watch the Summit Curtain Raiser film for the second WHO Global Summit on Traditional Medicine. As WHO and India welcome you, this film reflects the diversity of experiences, expectations, and aspirations from around the world, and reminds us why we have gathered: to listen, to learn, and to shape the global future of traditional medicine together.
How do we find balance? We find it in tradition, in practices that honor indigenous knowledge systems, offering unique perspectives on health and well-being. By bringing together centuries-old wisdom and cutting-edge science.
I think it's important that we realise that conventional and traditional medicine can go hand in hand.
Traditional medicine is not a thing of the past. There is a growing demand for traditional medicine across countries, communities, and cultures.
What we do need is to have a really strong, forward-looking, progressive way of being able to recognise the medicines of millennia.
The holding of WHO Global Summit on Traditional Medicine will intensify efforts to harness its potential.
The first WHO Traditional Medicine Global Summit set a baseline for action. A foundation of progress, data, and new technologies to unlock the full potential of traditional medicine. The 2025 Global Summit presents a pivotal moment to take this even further, expanding the evidence base for scientific innovations in traditional medicine. Recognizing the unrelenting instability in the world today, the summit will center around restoring balance, accelerating conversation and collaboration on topics like biodiversity protection, intellectual property rights, and the potential of AI, including the launch of the WHO Traditional Medicine Global Library. Join us as we explore how the nexus of traditional medicine and modern science can restore balance and well-being for people and our planet.
In this historic collaboration between the WHO and the Ministry of Ayush, Government of India, ladies and gentlemen, we were very much looking forward to welcoming Dr. Tedros Ghebreyesus, the Director General of the WHO, in person this morning. We have with us Dr. Katharina Boehme, Officer in charge of the WHO Southeast Asia Region Office, to introduce the video message from Dr. Tedros, who will be joining us at the closing on the 19th. So it's Dr. Katharina now.
Honorable Ministers, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, colleagues and friends. It's a pleasure to invite you now to hear from the Director General of the World Health Organization, Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, who joins us today through a recorded video message, but will be, in fact, with us from tomorrow morning. His leadership has been central to positioning traditional medicine at the heart of global health. And we're grateful for his continued guidance as we open this summit. So now
Excellencies, honorable ministers, hosts the Government of India for its hospitality, partnership and leadership in traditional medicine. And I thank all of you, healers, researchers and policy makers, whose work sustains knowledge systems rooted in care, culture and community. Your contributions remind us that health is not only about technology or treatment. It's also about balance, dignity, and the shared wisdom of humanity. When we gathered for the first global summit, we spoke about building bridges between science and tradition, between knowledge and lived experience, between people and planet. Today, traditional, complementary, and integrative medicine, or 2CIM, is no longer at the margins of global health. It's becoming part of its fabric, strengthening health systems and making them more people-centered and resilient. Earlier this year, the World Health Assembly adopted the WHO Global Traditional Medicine Strategy 2025-2034, a milestone that anchors TCIM within the global health agenda. The strategy focuses on 4 priorities: strengthening the evidence base so decisions are guided by science and data, ensuring safety and quality through effective regulation, integrating TCIM into national health systems, starting with primary health care, and unlocking its broader value for biodiversity, sustainability, and community well-being. This is more than a technical roadmap. It's a commitment to people's right to safe, effective, and culturally relevant care. To turn this strategy into action, WHO established the Global Center for Traditional Medicine based here in India. Through the center, we're advancing global data platforms, developing international standards, and fostering innovation ecosystems that benefit both people and the planet. At this summit, we will launch the WHO Traditional Medicine Global Library, the Global Indicator Framework, and new tools to support countries in translating evidence into policy and practice. No single country, culture, or tradition has all the answers. But together, we hold the collective wisdom we need, from indigenous healers to community health workers, from researchers to policy makers across all regions. I therefore call on governments, academia, and industry to galvanize new investments in traditional medicine, guided by science, ethics, and equity. Because health is not merely the absence of disease. It's balance of body, mind, spirit, people, and planet. Namaste. I thank you, and I look forward to seeing you all
tomorrow.
Thank you, Dr. Katharina and Dr. Tedros. From our member state, South Africa, I'm delighted to call upon the Honorable Minister of Health, Republic of South Africa, Dr. Aaron Motsoaledi, to share his thoughts.
Excellencies, my colleagues, ministers of health of the host country and from other countries, distinguished delegates, representatives of the World Health Organization, ladies and gentlemen, South Africa is honored to join the global community at the second WHO Global Summit on Traditional Medicine. I wish to commend the World Health Organization and the Government of India for their leadership in elevating traditional medicine as an essential component of people-centered health systems. For millions across Africa, traditional medicine remains their first port of call, deeply rooted in our cultures and knowledge systems. As we pursue development of our health systems, it is imperative that we strengthen research and regulation of traditional medicines in ways that ensure safety, quality, and respect for indigenous knowledge systems, which unfortunately in most countries is not recorded and accounted for. Hence, most brilliant inventions and knowledge in indigenous knowledge system is lost in translation. This summit provides an important opportunity to advance collaboration, innovation, and evidence-based practice while restoring balance between tradition, science, and the health of our people, as well as the planet. South Africa reaffirms its commitment to working with the World Health Organization and other nations to build inclusive, resilient, and sustainable health systems that leave no one behind. We look forward to constructive discussions and shared commitments that will help shape inclusive, resilient, and people-centered health systems for present and future generations. When South Africa took over the presidency of G20 from Brazil last year and held the most recent Head of State Summit, we deliberately chose the theme of solidarity, equality, and sustainability. This was not a random choice. It was an indication of the type of world we would like to see and we would like to live in. I do hope that this summit will help shed some light on how to tackle the clearing.
हाँ मैं देख रहा हूँ, हाँ मैं करूँगा, आपका हो जाएगा, इस तरह नेग्लिजेंसी नहीं है उनके अंदर। वो बहुत फास्ट सर्विस देते हैं और वो कमिटेड बहुत फुलफिल करते हैं। जब इंश्योरेंस करते हैं उससे मैं जो कमिटेड उनसे मेरे को मिला था, जब मेरा काम पड़ा वो सारे कमिटमेंट मेरे फुलफिल हुए। देखिए इंश्योरेंस का मेरा जीरो एक्सपीरियंस था और मैं इन माय लाइफ पहला इंश्योरेंस कंपनी है मेरी नज़र में स्टार हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस, जिससे मैं जुड़ा, अपनी फैमिली का पॉलिसीज़ किया। स्टार हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस करके मैं सेटिस्फाइड हूँ। आज मेरी फैमिली में जितने भी हॉस्पिटलिटी काम हुए हैं उन्होंने हार्टली बहुत मेरे को सपोर्ट किया है। सारे क्लेम्स इजीली मेरे सॉर्ट आउट हुए हैं। मेरे को कहीं दौड़ना नहीं पड़ा, चक्कर नहीं लगाने पड़े, हॉस्पिटल में ऊपर नीचे भी नहीं होना पड़ा।
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Minister. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, it is my honor now to invite the Honorable Minister of State, Independent Charge for Ayush, Government of India, Shri Pratap Rao Ganpat Rao Jadhav, to address the summit.
सेकंड WHO ग्लोबल ट्रेडिशनल मेडिसिन समिट के इस अवसर पर यहाँ उपस्थित भारत के माननीय स्वास्थ्य एवं परिवार कल्याण एवं केमिकल फर्टिलाइजर मंत्री आदरणीय श्री JP नड्डा जी, माननीय स्वास्थ्य मंत्री साउथ अफ्रीका श्री अरुण मोटोसोइलेडी जी, आयुष सचिव वैद्य राजेश कोटेचा जी, WHO GTMC डायरेक्टर डॉक्टर श्यामा कुरुविल्ला जी, DG WHO के सीनियर एडवाइजर एवं CRO के ऑफिसर इंचार्ज डॉक्टर कैथरीना बोहेम जी, दुनिया भर से आए रिस्पेक्टेड डेलीगेट्स, जाने माने साइंटिस्ट, प्रैक्टिशनर, मीडिया के मित्रों, देवी और सज्जनों, आप सभी को मेरा नमस्कार। देश की राजधानी नई दिल्ली में WHO और आयुष मंत्रालय भारत सरकार द्वारा होस्ट किए जा रहे ट्रेडिशनल मेडिसिन पर दूसरे WHO ग्लोबल समिट में मैं आप सभी का स्वागत करता हूं। साथियों, 2 साल पहले गुजरात में हुए पहले WHO ट्रेडिशनल मेडिसिन समिट के दौरान हमने एक बीज बोया था। हमने उस वक्त यह घोषणा की थी कि ट्रेडिशनल मेडिसिन अतीत की निशानी नहीं है, बल्कि हमारे भविष्य का एक आधार है। आज 2025 में न सिर्फ उस विजन को साकार रूप देने के लिए, बल्कि अपने किए गए कार्यों पर चर्चा के लिए फिर से हम सब लोग मिल रहे हैं। साथियों, हम हेल्थ केयर में एक अहम मोड़ पर है। इस समिट की थीम रिस्टोरिंग द बैलेंस, साइंस एंड प्रैक्टिस फॉर हेल्थ एंड वेलनेस। आज यह सिर्फ एक स्लोगन नहीं है, बल्कि इस वक्त की सबसे बड़ी जरूरत है, क्योंकि स्वास्थ्य के प्रति हमारा नजरिया गड़बड़ा रहा है। हमारी दिनचर्या और आहार विहार असंतुलित हो रहा है। हमें इसी संतुलन को प्रकृति के समन्वय से वापस जोड़ना होगा। साथियों, भारत के आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के कुशल नेतृत्व में हमारी परंपरागत चिकित्सा पद्धतियों के संरक्षक और सूत्रधार आयुष मंत्रालय और WHO के बीच सहयोग